I would love to get your words of wisdom for leadership and or someone who's newer in this career or maybe just starting out, some words of wisdom that you would share when it comes to wellness, maybe something that you wish you would have known earlier in your career or advice you wish you would have listened to earlier in your career. What would those words of wisdom be?
Well, a couple things. Number one is culture in law enforcement and each respective police department is unique. And again, I started at 21 years old, and I'm so grateful I had a little bit of a checkered past because I'm very difficult to just influence, and I'm certainly not a follower. But in my own department early on, there was a culture in this department of how we should be policing, how do we talk to people, what consequences if somebody runs from us. It was a very different environment that I was raised in. And I would say this to people starting this job: when you come into this, you may have a certain mindset of what you expect the job to be. Maybe you've done some ride-alongs, maybe you went through the academy and you have these seasoned, in many cases retired police officers sharing their words of wisdom. But then you get inside the organization as a full-fledged employee and you start working with staff, and the influence is thick in every department. No matter who the supervisors are, the sergeants, the lieutenants, commanders, chief, there's always a handful of informal leaders that set the tone of what the culture is. And some of them, a lot of them actually, not all of them, but a lot of them tend to be the cynical negative, and they can spew that on to others where it's negativity and it's constant complaining and what this sucks and that sucks and why do we do it this way, and everything is opposition to everything. And a lot of these people tend to be the most influential within an organization. So my advice is be an independent thinker, be strong on your feet and in your mindset to know what you think is the right and wrong way to go, and don't let anyone kind of push you around. Because I'll tell you, with me and everybody, but with me in particular, they tried, and I'm surprised I was ever promoted for a period of time, because I would really professionally but strongly challenge leadership. People who were sergeants were, it's a little different today in policing, but in my era, the sergeants were the top of the food chain. We didn't even care who the chief was. The sergeants on our shift, they were the law of the land. And I would challenge them. Kind of my old adolescent days would come in. If I thought they were wrong, I'm like, you're wrong. Like, I don't agree with you. And I would do it respectfully, always. But it takes a very special person to do that, because most people will get sucked into the culture. And there's a lot of good culture, but as we know, just turn on the news any day of the week, there's a lot of bad culture in law enforcement as well. And it's okay to speak out against it. So that's one thing, is be mindful of what the culture is and how it's being set. And if we have more people that are able to shift away from that, you're going to set a positive culture within the organization that's going to outweigh the negative. And in my own experience, I've went through a time where we had maybe a handful, maybe 4 or 5 positive people, and those people were just tormented by everyone else. They were made fun of, and you name it. These were very decorated police officers. The times have shifted. Now, the ones who stand out, who are very negative and very cynical, they stand out, and they're challenged by so many more who are positive and want more positivity. So that's one piece. And then I'll go back to something I've already said, and I stand by this. If there's one thing I'd like people to hear from what I'm saying, is your mindset. I have very bad days. Believe me, there are times I say, forget this whole PMA thing, but then I reset myself. Your mindset is going to be critical. Tell yourself that things are going to be good. You're going to get through this. Feed that constantly. Put that energy out there, and I can guarantee that you'll start to see results. They may be small, but you will start to see consistent, positive results. And that's my message to people. Stay positive, avoid negative culture, stand up for what's right, and enjoy the ride.